play. We've got so much to say. Welcome to our magic playground. Join us as we're breaking new ground. Nothing can replace the beauty of your smiling faces. What music brings to you, nothing else will ever do.
It is my distinct pleasure to be talking to Joey Melotti. He is famous in Las Vegas. You mention the name Joey Melotti, and everybody goes, "Oh, oh, you know Joey Melotti?" In fact, I hug him now. I'm so excited. Thank you for being here.
Oh, it's my ultimate pleasure.
Well, Joey, I always have to start at the very, very beginning.
Okay.
How old were you when you started playing piano?
Actually, I started on accordion.
Accordion?
Yes, like a good Italian boy.
Oh, whereabouts did you do this?
I was born in New Haven, Connecticut, and my family would get together at our grandmother's in Hamden, which is, maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes away. Every Sunday you get together with the family, the grandmother, the aunts, and the uncles, and all that. And my cousin was playing accordion, and we'd go every Sunday, and he had this accordion, and he was fabulous, and I was just mesmerized. I was just like, I want that. I gotta have that. I gotta play. And I cried. I mean, I cried to play the accordion, and so my mom and dad, who were totally supportive and
Were they both Italian?
Yes.
From Italy?
They're second generation.
Aha.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess that's what you call it, or first generation?
my father was from Italy, so
There you go.
nonetheless.
Nice.
But you have really maintained.
Incredibile.
Yes, you've maintained the traditions.
Yeah, so they got me an accordion, and I started taking lessons, and I took lessons, and I did very well, but I would always memorize everything, I would memorize my whole lesson. So I had music, and I was reading music, but it really wasn't like I was reading the music.
Really?
So I would get through the lesson, and then I would have it. Boom. Okay, next, And so I did that until I was about 10 or 11. And then my teacher, who was local, and she said, I can't take him any further. He's got to go to New York. And yeah, that wasn't going to happen because, we were in Connecticut. We weren't, the super well off. Oh, yes, put him on the train and get him lessons.
At 11.
So my sister was taking piano lessons, and she was amazing. My younger sister, Vanessa. Hello, Vanessa. And I used to watch her play her lessons, and then I would, kind of go over and try to do what she's doing. And I eventually, I transitioned over into keyboards. And then at 12, I was playing accordion in rock bands. And then I got a little portable organ, and then I graduated
Accordion and rock bands.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Well, it was funny because we were called we had a band that was called the Soul Survivors, and there was a hit on the radio, "Expressway to Your Heart," right? And that was a big hit. On Expressway to Your. Anyway, so we were getting bookings as Soul Survivor, thinking that it was our style. It was hysterical.
Still, now I'm inside a daydream the whole way through. Help me from falling in love with you. Life would be better, yeah, if there were two. Say that you want me, or say that you won't. Trip me through light years and outer space. Baby, you're gonna find us a cute little cutie place. You got a plan, babe, that you won't just help me from falling in love with you. Oh, help me, I'm falling. Oh, I'm tripping over my feet for you. I'm falling in trip me through light years and outer space. Maybe we're gonna find ourselves a cute little place. If you got a plan, babe, then it's time we share. I said, oh, that good loving that we cannot come on, look around you, honey, and you will see. Everyone knows it, yeah. It's just you and me. Come on, say that you want me, or say that you won't. Help me from falling in love with you. I said, help me from falling in love with you. Help me from falling in love with you. Oh, baby, I'm falling. I was 5 and he was 6. Rode on horses made of sticks. He wore black and I wore white. He would always win the fight. Bang, bang, into the room. Bang, bang, all over you. Bang, bang, yeah. There goes your heart. Bang, bang, in the back seat of my car. Seasons came and they changed the time. For a little while I called him mine. He would always laugh and say, hey, remember how we used to play? Bang, bang, into the room. Bang, bang, all over you. Bang, bang, yeah. There goes your heart. Bang, bang, in the backseat of my car. Bang, the A to the N to the J. Bang, the A to the N to the J. Yay, yeah, now he's gone and I don't know why. To this day I just sit and cry. He didn't even say goodbye. I didn't get to hear his light. Bang, bang, into the room. Bang, bang, all over you. Bang, bang, yeah, there goes your heart. Bang, bang, in the backseat of my car. Yeah, I was 5 and he was 6. Rode on horses, made of sticks. I wore black, he wore white. I'm gonna win the fight. Bang, bang, yeah, into that room. Bang, bang, yeah, all over you. Bang, bang, yeah, there goes your heart. Bang, bang, in the backseat of my car. Seasons came and they changed the time. For a little while I called him mine. He would always laugh and say, hey, remember baby how we used to play. Bang, bang, yeah, into that room. Bang, bang, yeah, all over you. Bang, bang, yeah, there goes your heart. Bang, bang, in the backseat of my car. Bang to the A to the N to the J. Bang to the A to the N to the J. Papa, I'm gone and he doesn't know why. To this day I love to sit and watch him cry. I'm never gonna say goodbye. You'll never even get to hear my lie. Bang, bang, yeah, into that room. Bang, bang, yeah, all over you. Bang, bang, yeah, there goes your heart. Bang, bang, in the backseat of my car.
I am so excited today to be talking to Ann Martinez. She is the brilliant star of the strip. She is gorgeous, as you can see, and I'm going to have to start from the very beginning.
Okay.
Where were you born?
I was born in Manassas, Virginia.
Were you really?
Yes.
We lived 26 years in West Springfield.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
But I grew up in upstate New York.
I see.
So,
Is that where you were influenced to become an entertainer?
oh, definitely. My parents are extremely supportive, and my mom's side of the family especially is very musical. So I started playing Suzuki violin when I was 3. And it was a rule, we had to play an instrument all the way through high school. So,
Were you an orchestra? Were there more of you than one?
well, my rendition of Hot Cross Buns was amazing. I kind of bounced around. I played violin for a few years, and I did flute, and then I started singing in choir, and I really enjoyed that. So I've always been surrounded by music and stuff like that. So my parents have been also really supportive, and I grew up dancing a lot. So I was doing a lot of dancing and ballet, and then musical theater and stuff like that.
Well,
So
as tiny as you are, that makes sense.
I got beat by all my ballet teachers.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Who were your influences?
Musically, my biggest influence is definitely Linda Ronstadt. She's my favorite singer of all time. I just love her. She just had no fear. She just did any genre.
Exactly.
And without any ego or excuse, she just jumped in and did it because she loved music. And I really love her. She's my all-time favorite. And the Beatles were a huge influence when I was young. My mom saved all of her records, so we would listen to them constantly, and then teach ourselves the songs on the piano or guitar, and then we'd sing them and play them all. So
How many siblings do you have?
2
Two. Nice. Boys, girls?
boys.
Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're the darling of the
Yes.
White shirt, now red, my blood and no sleeping. You're on your tippy toes, creeping round like nobody knows. Think you're so cynical. Bruises on both my knees, for you don't say thank you or please. I do what I want when I want to do. My soul so cynical. So you're a tough guy, like a really rough guy. Just can't get enough guy, just always so poor guy. I'm the bedtime, make your mama sad time, make your girlfriend mad time. I'm gonna seduce your daddy time. I'm your bad guy. Duh. I like it when you take control of me. If you know that you don't own me, I'll let you play the role. I'll be your animal. My mom may likes to sing along with me, but she won't sing the song if she knew all the lyrics. She'd hate every man I know. So you're a tough guy, like a really rough guy. Just can't get enough guy, just always so poor guy. I'm the bedtime, make your mama sad time, make your girlfriend mad time. I'm gonna seduce your daddy time. I'm your bad guy. Duh. Ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. I'm only good at being bad. It when you take control of me. If you know that you don't own me, I'll let you play the role. I'll play your animal. My mom may likes to sing along with me, but she won't sing the song if she knew all the lyrics. She'd pity every man I know. So you're a tough guy, like a really rough guy. Just can't get enough guy, just always a poor guy. I'm the bedtime, make your mama sad time, make your girlfriend mad time. I'm gonna seduce your daddy time. I'm your bad guy. Duh. I like when you get mad. I guess you're pretty glad that we're alone. You said she's scared of me. Let me see. I don't see what she sees, but maybe it's 'cause I'm wearing your cologne. I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad guy. I'm your bad guy. Bad, 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 bad boys. You make me feel so good. bad guy. I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad guy. I'm your bad guy. Every night I hope and pray, dream a lover come my way, girl to hold in my arms, know the magic of her charms. Oh, a girl I can call my own. I want that dream of lover. I don't wanna dream alone. Dream lover, where are you? With the love that's oh so true, and a hand I wanna hold, keep you near till I get old. Yeah, I want a girl that I can call my own. I want that dream lover. I don't wanna dream alone. Sweet dreams are made of these. Now who am I to disagree? I traveled in a world in the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them wanna be used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused. Hold your head, keep your head. Hold your head, keep your head. Hold your head, keep your head up. Hold your head up. That's right, you're moving on. Stars shining right above you. Night breezes seem to whisper above you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little, dream of me. I want a girl that I can call my own. I want that dream lover. I don't wanna dream alone. Stay night night and kiss me. Hold me tight. You tell me you miss me when I'm alone and influencing me. Dream a little, dream of me. I want that girl that I can call my own. I want that dream lover. I don't wanna dream alone. Sweet dreams are made of these. Now who am I to disagree? I travel the world in the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them wanna get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused.
And
I'm the
when did
baby.
you come to Las Vegas?
I've been here about 8 years. My husband is a theater technician and an aerial rigger, so we were working together. I met him in a show where I was flying in the show, and he was so talented. I said to him, "You should apply for Cirque du Soleil, you're so great." And he had rigged a lot of films. He had worked on Mission Impossible and
Oh
The
my
Matrix
God.
and stuff like that, rigging. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I hear Cirque's pretty good." I was like, "Yeah,
You think it's
they're great." And he was also a commercial diver years before. So I told him there's a water show in Las Vegas that is perfect. It's called O. And he sent his application in and they hired him. And my best friend from college, he lives out here. So I had visited a few times, and his little girl's my godchild. So I would come and visit, and he would have me do like a small concert or something while I was here, so I could kind of see what it was like. And then Cirque hired my husband, and he flew out before me. I was still finishing up a contract, and then I flew here, and I was really lucky. I booked a show like my first day, and then just hit the ground running.
Well, I had heard that you did a show at the Sahara, and you were flying.
Oh yes, yeah.
I wasn't quite sure that that was true because I've seen you
Yeah.
several times singing in Baz,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is a huge production here.
It was beautiful.
And I've seen you at the South Point with Frankie Shinta.
Yes, I love Frankie. Oh, he's the best.
Who
He's
are
wonderful.
some of the other people that you've worked with?
In town, oh, I've been really lucky. I worked with Chris Phillips.
Lucky, I think it has to do with talent, sorry.
Thank you. Zoe Bowie, Chris Phillips, he's wonderful. I've worked with Nikki Scalera and Sean Coey. We did the Jagged Little Pill album together, and it was and also with Rocky Brown. That was really fun. And I've been able to work with like so many different people. I toured with Engelbert Humperdinck. I've worked with just incredible people. Everyone in town just has these incredible talents and abilities, and like Frankie. I mean, Frankie's one of the most incredible experiences is whenever you're on stage with Frankie. He's the most Like, he's the most giving and encouraging, and it's also just like a steam train. So you just have to go, and he's fearless. So anyone I get to work with is really cool because I get to learn more. And all the dancers in town too, I've learned so much from them, just from their like Claudia Mitria, Ryan Kelsey, April Leopardi. Like, there's so many that Adolfo Barreto, Jeffrey DeBarathi. They've all really taught me a lot about stage presence and the importance of every little detail that
Well,
you
there's
can
no
do.
doubt that you've got stage presence. I mean,
Thank
I
you.
am really thrilled to be talking to you. The show today that you did, the group that you are with, tell me about the group.
So it kind of happened by accident. Peter, our bass player, he's our papa. He got asked to do a gig, like in a restaurant. They wanted like a little 4-piece band, and so he and I were working together at Baz at the time, and the show had just closed, and he called me and said, "Do you want to do this gig?" And I was like, "Sure." And we got together and kind of put together some songs. Then when we got to the actual gig, we had to kind of take direction from the client. They wanted like a different sound, and it was just this really weird, really cool moment where we all just kind of looked at each other. We were like, "Okay, sure, no problem." And we kind of set this tone where we're hyper listening to each other. It's just this hyper awareness, and
That's
a really, really cool camaraderie, and there's no judgment, there's no stress, there's no ego. Everyone just plays and has a good time.
and what's the name of the group?
The Red Penny Arcade.
So you started with Peter,
Yeah, Peter and Mikey.
Peter and Mikey.
Mikey J, our drummer, and then we kind of, Keith Baraska was our original keyboardist, but he's extremely busy, works all the time, and so we would use different keyboardists. We used Patrick Hogan, Jason, we used Dan Ellis is wonderful. So we've kind of been able to sub in with different musicians, different guitarists, so it's been really cool to kind of, because it always morphs the sound, and it's not a strict band where you have to play perfectly every time this way. We kind of let the flow kind of go. Like, I'll turn on and say, well, let's play this song, let's make it jazzy, let's do it jazz, and then we'll turn it around and make it jazzy. So it's kind of cool. Like, it's an open forum where you can experiment with the sound and how we play a song. And we've kind of created these weird
Yes, you have.
medleys that
Oh my God.
I write late at night, or Peter writes, and
I saw you
format
at the
them.
Palazzo Friday night, and when you played that song with the Egyptian sound to it, oh my
Yeah.
God, it's fabulous.
It's fun.
So you, as they said to me, you are the person responsible for the arrangements.
I've done a lot of them. Peter has done some too. What I kind of do is I'll kind of get an idea in my head of like how we can make a song go, so it doesn't necessarily become a medley. It's more just like a musical journey. And so I'll kind of sketch it out, and then I'll make either kind of write out a little bit, or I'll make a little audio recording, and I'll send it to Peter. And then he's just so musically, his knowledge of music theory is he's just a genius. And he'll kind of go through and say, we can do this, we can change it over here. And then I'll come into work. We never rehearse. I come into
You never rehearse,
We've never rehearsed ever. We never rehearsed.
so this was just jamming.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of turned around before and was like, okay, so this time when we do it, I'll do this when it's time to do that. Because usually we just kind of listen to each other. But I think that's what became this really unintentional, really cool way of working, is that we are really listening to each other, and we're taking care of each other. Like, if one of us skips a beat, everyone's right there with them. So it's kind of created this very unique music experience I've never had before. And I
Well,
love
they're
this band.
definitely on your side.
Yeah, it's
They
fun.
are so enjoying your performance. They light up like light bulbs. It's just amazing.
It's fun. I mean, I've forgotten to come in on a few songs because I'll be watching our guitarist, John Wiedemeyer, who's like ridiculous. He's like an alien playing something, and I'm like, go back. Like, it's cool. We just really appreciate each other's talents. We really do. And I think that's the secret of creating like a really cool sound that we've kind of made. There's just no pressure, and we really, really appreciate it. So when Joey subbed in for John, I mean, I was excited because Joey's reputation is like insane, and then it just was this seamless. And then we always get like a new kind of like flavor to our ice cream when a player comes in, and we had so much fun, and it just kind of became this really cool thing. And then playing today, like it's really cool. But I think a lot of it has to do with the people. These are all really, really talented artists who are not, selfish. They're
No
not
egos.
egotistical. They're not conceited. They just want to make music, and we all just kind of came together. And so that's what makes it so special.
Well, I am certainly delighted to be talking to you, Ann Martinez. I mean, I'm thrilled because I'm a big fan.
John Wiedemeyer on guitar, Ann Martinez on vocals, Peter Fand on acoustic bass, Mikey J on drums, just so we have your out there so you know who's playing, Joey Melotti on keyboards. We did a mashup, many mashups. Ann's versions, Ann and the group, they're just working cohesively like a unit and building each gig that just keeps growing and growing and growing. I was lucky enough to come into the equation and lucky enough to have these guys here today with me on the imagination playground, because that's what we are. We are imagining what we're doing on the spot, and we hope everyone out there that gets a chance to hear us and watch us and see us, hope you feel as good as we do about what we're doing, because we really love it. It's really smiling from inside my heart, as my little girls say. Hi, my little girls out there. Sophia, Isabella, Valentina, and my wife, Valerie. Hi, hi, hi. See? I didn't forget. No, I love you all, and thanks for joining us. And we're going to continue on with one of my originals that I wrote a little while ago. It's about a very close friend of mine who I lost contact with. And I just never knew what happened to him, so I wrote the song. And it's all about him. And he was a guitar player, by the way. John, if you're out there, John Naylor, you were inspired this song. Then I found out later he went to Hawaii, right? Just he's in Hawaii, like, you know, under like one of those waterfalls, just hanging out, you know.
Totally understand.
Yeah, nice guy. Thanks for keeping in touch, by the way. Yeah.
At least you got a song out.
So we were getting bookings as Soul Survivor, thinking that it was our style. It was hysterical. Anyway, I digress. So I switched over to a big organ, and I still have my Hammond.
Really?
My Hammond's a C2 actually, and I have that in my studio. When I got that was when I was 16, and that toured pretty much, you know, did all my road work with it, and then gradually got it out to California.
Wow.
From Connecticut, I moved out to California, and then.
So this became your obsession, your profession.
Yeah, I mean, so I just, you know, I mean, I went to college. I studied French in college. I thought I was going to be a French teacher, but I really, you know, it wasn't really natural. I went over to study there, and it didn't really work out that well. But I was in the dorm, and I was playing piano one day. There was nobody in there, and I just got lost, and I was playing piano. And all of a sudden, the whole room, I stopped playing, and I looked at everyone started clapping, and the whole room got all, you know, it was filled with people. I was like, oh, well, I guess this is what I should be doing. So.
Well, we can't avoid talking about the elephant that's in the room. This man is the music director
I have been.
for Barry Manilow. You don't get bigger than that. Not only that, but he's also going to do a concert with Marie Osmond. And this is what makes everybody tremble when they hear the name Joey Melotti. You are famous. How did you get involved with these stars?
Wow. You know, things happen. You know, just one thing happens and then another thing happens. My first kind of road gig was like in 1976 with Vicki Sue Robinson, who had a big hit called Turn the Beat Around.
Of course.
And that happened per chance because the keyboard player didn't want to go and tour. So my friends got me to, you know, meet Vicki and audition, and they loved me, and I got the gig. So I was touring with her, and we did all the big TV shows, Rock Concert, you know, Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, Midnight Special, you know, Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas.
Oh my God.
You know, we did all that stuff, which was phenomenal. I mean, you're right. And then we did that. We toured for that was the disco era. You know, we toured for 2-3 years, and that ended. And then I went and did a play. I got hired to arrange a play for a big arranger in the city.
In the city?
In New York City. Yeah.
Oh, just New York City.
Yeah, well, I was in Connecticut. So, you know, we're kind of neighboring. And I did a lot of work in New York. You know, we do a lot of clubs, you know, in the heyday. And anyway, so I got this gig arranging for this show called The Cowboy and the Legend. It was a theatrical, you know, production. And that was my first adventure into really arranging, you know, like, and, you know, I mean, I was a keyboard player. I never really, I didn't go to music school. I minored in music at Southern Connecticut State University. I majored in French.
So you did the arrangements.
So I got thrown into that fire, and I, you know, did all the arrangements for the show. And on the show was Eartha Kitt. She was a star.
Oh my God.
So, and we had a great run down at Burt Reynolds Dinner Theater in Jupiter, Florida. And then she took me on the road with her as her piano conductor. And I never had ever did that before. You know, that was like, okay, now I'm accompanying Eartha Kitt. Now that's, she was a handful. So, and here I am by myself, no rehearsal, walk in with a band, you know, like that was like, whoa. Okay, so now I'm really starting
So you were as starstruck about her as I am about you.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know why you feel like that. But
This is the nicest man. His family is so sweet. We're going to have to tell you a little bit about Valerie, too.
Absolutely.
But anyway.
Yeah, so I did some road work with her, and then that turned into, you know, it was a great experience, and that finished, and I've got a lot of funny stories, but I don't know how much time we have, so. I got my own little quartet together, and we were working in New Haven, and it was great, and we had a big following, and we cut a live record from this little club called the Foundry. They wanted us to do a live record, so I got a mobile truck, 24-track unit. They parked in the back, and we did 3 nights in a row, and it was awesome. I mean, really heavyweight guys, engineering and stuff, like really audiophile guys. You know. Mixed it at the Hit Factory in New York City, and that was a big smash around the tri-state area. Cut a solo record on my own with, you know, my pop stuff. And that did okay, but I never really, I never got to the big time, never got that thing. So Michael Bolton was next. 1983. Michael and I are from New Haven, so we knew each other. I used to go see his gigs. He'd come into the Foundry. He'd sit down at my gigs, and we both were kind of like local kind of big guys that were doing our thing. Like everybody else. I mean, there was a lot of great people on our level. He got a deal on Columbia. Did his record. It was his breakout record. And again, the keyboard player who he's writing didn't want to go tour. So now all the guys in the band said, well, you got to get Joey. So there I was, boom. So we did it. We opened up for Bob Seger on the Distance tour, right? So that was like for a good 3 or 4 months we opened up for Bob. And that was the big time. We were the opening act, but I mean, we got a taste of what it was like to be like, okay, you're playing for 20,000 people, right? So that was,
Oh my God.
and that band was like, forget about it. I mean, Bob and that whole band was just spot on, exciting, the solos, the staging, the movement, the personality, the voice, I mean, it was like, okay. So that ended, and we did a little around the States tour in concert clubs with Michael, and then that finished. Then I went back to my locale, and this rich kid, Spencer, how you doing? He wanted to take me on. He wanted to produce a record on my stuff. So we spent 2 years in the studio amassing some big numbers.
Wow.
And I had a whole like 12, 13 tunes that sound amazing. And we did a showcase at the Bottom Line in New York, but we didn't get the deal. We got close. So, and I was kind of burnt out after all that, I put my heart and soul into it, and I didn't really get to where I wanted to be. So, and I started working for other people. I was working with my heroes, like Felix Cavalieri from the Young Rascals. One of the guys in my band, Jeff Pivar, who's a fabulous guitarist and has been with Crosby, Stills and Nash, James Taylor, Ray Charles, you name it. He's been out there forever, and love him, Jeffrey. And he got me on the Ricky Lee Jones tour. So we went out and we did a European thing with her.
Oh my goodness.
In '87. And we opened up and we actually did her thing in Sweden, and we did a couple festivals. Then we wound up coming home and going back quickly to open up for Ray Charles. So that was really cool. I got to sing like the opening number and do my tune, and we got to do her thing, and that was awesome. So that finished, and then Barry Manilow came. 88, I was doing a record with Marion Meadows, who was in my original quartet, for Norman Connors, who is he would produce these, kind of like a Quincy, who would do these albums, and he'd feature a lot of different artists. And we wrote the title track for that, Marion and I. And we went to Capitol and we recorded it, so now we're at Capitol Studios. I invite my good friend Victor Vanacore down, who was Barry's musical director, and also from Connecticut, my mentor, kind of like one of my always, he's like family, and he's a fabulous arranger, keyboard player. And so he said, well, Barry's looking for a keyboard. I'm leaving. Barry's looking for a keyboard player that sings.
Question. He plays the piano, doesn't he?
Barry.
Barry.
Oh, he does. Very well.
But you...
He writes the songs that make the whole world sing, too. Right? And sings like... He's got such a great voice.
I have seen him
his voice
many
is like,
times.
he's so spot on.
Chicago, Phoenix, here.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah, he is incredible.
Victor got me the audition with Barry. I went back to California, auditioned, got the gig, and toured with him 87 to 90, and that was a real big world tour.
So it really doesn't flummox you to be with these huge stars.
I mean, when I got, everyone has a kind of a presence that you kind of feel. And, so me, I mean, I'm just, we're just regular people. I mean, everything we do, we work hard for, we try our best. We try to be good people. We try to do things for other people, make people happy, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so when you work with an artist, you have to understand where they are, where they're coming from, what is good for them, what's not good for them, how big is their ego, I mean, I've seen it all. So
Well, when you start with Eartha Kitt,
Right.
You know, you have to get some muscle there.
West, right? You do.
Well, I did want to mention Valerie. Now, Valerie is writing a play, a Broadway play,
Broadway musical.
Broadway musical. And she is the most delightful Chicagoan like me. And she could not be here today, but someday you're going to meet her. And she is the mother of your 4 gorgeous Italian children. What are their names?
Isabella, Vincenzo, Sophia, and Valentina.
Well, with that, we're going to have to say goodbye to you.
Okay.
I am thrilled to be talking to you. There's more to say. We're going to have to do a whole segment on him because he's got to tell the funny stories about these people. I'm just flabbergasted that I'm sitting here talking to him. Thank you so much.
Thank you, but let me ask you a question. How did you like our presentation? I mean, this was it was all about Red Penny and myself, Red Penny,
Well,
that coercion.
if my Fitbit took wiggles, I was wiggling the entire time. I was smiling. I'm so dry I can barely talk right now because I have been smiling for 2 hours. Thank you
Great,
so much.
good. Thank you.
You were always a wild one. Never thought you would settle down. Always running in a fast lane. Always acting like a clown. After all of the good times, the ones you never would live down. And where are you now? You still have the good times, still have the good times. Wild one, wonder where are you now? Wild one, do you ever feel sorrow? Is there a tomorrow? On the streets of Manhattan, took a road up to Hana, felt your presence beside me, every step of every day. I wanna smile in your brown eyes, I wanna hear all your white lies. I wonder where are you now? Do you have the good times? Still have the good times? Wild one, wonder where are you now? Wild one, do you ever feel sorrow? Is there a tomorrow? Where are you, my wild one? Are you flying higher? Or are you crying now? My wild one, wild one, wild one. you fly.